18-year-old Nicholas Feliciano is in ICU here at Elmhurst Hospital after he apparently tried to take his own life while being held at Rikers Island. Sources tell Pix 11 3 correction officers and a captain allegedly stood by, watched the teen's suicide attempt for at least 7 minutes and did nothing. It happened last week, and after reviewing surveillance video from inside the jail, the Department of Corrections suspended the officers. In a statement, the DOC said, "The claims being made here are extremely troubling, and we are taking them seriously." Jail records show Feliciano was arrested on November 19th on a parole violation. The day of the incident, he allegedly got into a fight with another inmate and was moved out of general population to a holding cell where officers should have been watching him around the clock. In a statement, the Legal Aid Society, who represents the teen, said, "This outcome underscores the New York City Department of Corrections' inability to safeguard the youngest people in its custody. It represents a colossal failure of supervision and leadership, one of which we demand answers before another New Yorker leaves the New York City jails in critical condition." But the union representing the officers tell a different story. In a statement, the COBRA president said, "At no time did my correction officers stand for 7 minutes watching an inmate attempt to kill himself. The camera is there. It shows it all." Still, this comes just 2 months after the city council agreed to close Rikers Island within 7 years and replace it with smaller jails they believe to be safer and more humane.
And right now, 18-year-old Nicholas Feliciano is at Elmhurst Hospital fighting for his life. Joining us today to talk about this topic and, of course, the topic of bail reform, Marie Jai from the Legal Aid Society and former NYPD Lieutenant Darren Porcher. So good morning, good afternoon, to both of you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Marie, let's talk about first the update here. What is the condition of Nicholas at this hour?
Unfortunately, he's still in critical condition at Elmhurst, and everyone's main priority right now is that hopefully his condition improves.
So you guys represent him, and I do understand there's an update as of this afternoon that the parole warrant against Nicholas has actually been canceled. Tell everybody what exactly that means.
Right, so Mr. Feliciano was incarcerated because he allegedly violated a condition of his parole. Unfortunately, after this incident, what that meant was that even though he was in the hospital, he was still in DOC custody. So his visitation and whether his family could be with him were all still under DOC rules. So, for example, if he could only get visits on Wednesdays, that means his family could only visit him in the hospital on Wednesdays. So it's very important to us and to his attorneys to make sure that that parole warrant got lifted so that his family could be with him at this time without the imposition of the Department of Corrections.
So moving forward, obviously the correction union is saying there will be a full investigation here. The Department of Corrections saying there's going to be a full investigation. Legal Aid Society represents Mr. Feliciano. What do you think actually happened here, and what are you looking for moving forward?
There's definitely a failure in the system here. Mr. Feliciano, of course, because he has a parole warrant, was previously incarcerated and previously incarcerated at Rikers. They knew of his mental health condition, and it's unacceptable that they did not take the proper safeguards to prevent this from happening in the first place.
He had attempted suicide prior, so should he have been on a suicide watch?
Well, I think in this incident, after that fight that he was in, some other guards in Rikers actually thought that he needed medical attention. And so he should have been taken to a hospital right then to receive medical attention instead of being placed by himself in a cell where, yes, he should have been watched. And in this case, it sounds like he was watched and there just wasn't any intervention.
And you heard from the union who said that the video actually shows that they were not standing by watching what actually unfolded here. But there will be a full investigation,
yes.
right? So thank you for chiming in on that topic.